You don't need anything. Hello friends, welcome to this video. If you're new, I'm Emily, otherwise known as Shamanism. You can call me pretty much anything, just don't call me late for dinner. Welcome to the channel. I'm an author, a musician, an entrepreneur, and many things. Welcome, glad to have you. What I wanted to talk about in this video is something which honestly I struggled with myself for a really long time, mostly to understand what people meant by that. And if I'm being completely transparent, it's still a journey that I'm on to understand it fully. So we're all on the journey together. Lovely song I made up. So the phrase that you may have heard is when people, especially in the spiritual field, I guess is where I've mostly heard this, people will tell you things like to look within. So the reason I wanted to talk about that in this video is because for a long time, I was doing what a lot of those spiritual folks will call seeking and looking for all sorts of things, famously like Leisure Suit Larry, in all the wrong places, or if you're familiar with Star Wars, in Alderaan places. Anyhow, the funny part about that is I'm not quite halfway through my life. I'm not there yet. And yet, even up until now, it's hard for me to understand that, yes, everything that we have is within us. We actually don't need anything from anyone external. To a point, you know, I'm not talking about babies growing up or any actual children. However, once we have reached adulthood, we really don't need anything external, especially now. And here's something I will just highlight as here's an example of why you not need anyone else. So much information, and this is not to say, I actually, for one, am a huge fan of keeping books alive, and hence, you know, why I have like lots of tangible books, because I actually like to read, and I'm not one of those people who can read online. All that just to say that all that we have is within us, meaning if you needed to find out some information. Now, the reason I brought up the book thing was because what used to be common was if you needed to research something, you would go to the library. Now, as crazy as it is for me to say and have witnessed this even in my own lifetime, people rarely go to the library anymore. Why? Because you can take exactly 2 seconds to ask your question to Google and spookily or not spookily enough, most of the time get a pretty accurate answer. Now, again, the reason I did bring up the books is because I highly invite you to add on to whatever research you've done online to use books, because books, there's something in the tangible there extra than when things are simply relayed online. And again, that's one of the reasons that I like to read an actual book I can hold in my hands. I also think it is beneficial to us not to be staring at our devices at blue lights all of the time. I wanted to invite you to look at your life and understand that after we do reach adulthood, really we don't need anyone to provide for us. We are completely capable of figuring out everything. And the really crazy part was that I also spent a long time looking for these breadcrumbs, these clues that would specifically lead me to my purpose. And unfortunately about that is that I spent a long time doing that, sort of chasing this what is my purpose thing. And when it turns out, the big joke is that your purpose is something that you discover along the way. It's not like you're just handed on your 8th birthday. They're like, oh, on her 8th birthday, she gets her purpose. And I mean, look, there are some super crazy wild exceptions to that rule in which those people have been awake since like the year of 8. For most of us out there, I don't think it works that way. So all of it just to say that you really do have all the tools that you need to succeed for your specific mission within you already. So with some introspection, you can find those keys, those tools, those codes, and really accelerate the speed at which your life is going, or the effect, the impact of which you are having within your life. So if you know anyone that this video would help, please do share it with them. Subscribe, as that really helps me out as a content creator to get the messages out there to those who need to hear them. And last but not least, if you, my beautiful spirit soul, need any support or coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out at this email address, where it will be my genuine pleasure to serve you in any way that I can. Have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your day or night, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next one. Namaste and much love. Stay healthy. Bye. So that, however, for the most of us out there, these breadcrumbs, these clues that would specifically lead me to my purpose. You're just handed on your 8th birthday, they're like, oh, on her 8th birthday, she gets her purpose. So we're all on the journey together.